Hello, everyone. My name is Mirna, and on behalf of the Mindalia TV team, we want to welcome you to Mindalia live streaming, where thousands of people around the world gather every day to see the lectures and interviews. And we are very sorry about the technical difficulty. We are having a return in our sound, but we continue here for you. We are Mindalia TV live streaming, and with us, we are going to be having today Angel Ribot. Angel is a CEO consultant, TV host, international public speaker, and president of the Wisdom for Kids Foundation. And he's going to be interviewing today Juliana Klinkert. Juliana is a spiritual coach and meditation teacher. She focuses in managing daily stress. Juliana teaches meditation in Los Angeles, California, to parolees and domestic violence survivors at the Amity Foundation. Before starting with them, we want to remind you that Mindalia is a nonprofit organization, and our only mission is to share information that can help raise the level of consciousness around the world, and you can help us. How? Just liking this video, subscribing to our channel, or leaving us a positive comment down below. Also, we want to remind you that while we are live streaming, we have the active chat. That is an excellent tool that is going to allow you to interact with us. Just please remember the format, the word question in caps, and the actual question that you want asked. Also, great news, Mindalia TV broadcast in Spanish, English, and Portuguese. So if you know the languages, you are more than welcome to visit us in our different channels. Now, without further delay, I am going to be leaving you with Angel and Juliana. Angel, Juliana, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mirna. And Juliana, it's an understatement to say that it's a pleasure to have you with us today. So thank you for your time. Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you, Angel. And it's also my pleasure to be here, to be with Mindalia TV. We had also the big opportunity to talk in two different languages, Spanish and English. So today is our first English show, interview, long version, because we have some short sessions already that you can visit in Angel's Facebook and also in Mindalia TV. So Angel, thank you so much. Mindalia, thank you so much. Mirna, thank you so much. And all the audience that is listening to us, also thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. As she's saying, we try to help everybody who is suffering today. We try to give, daily support as soon as or whenever we have some time together, and we go to Mindalia, we go to Facebook, which is a different channel that we use to communicate. But let's jump onto. I was amazed by the fact that you actually help parolees, and that's quite an uncommon and outstanding thing to do. So, could you tell us more a little bit? What do you exactly do with parolees, Juliana?
Thank you so much, Angel. And before to jumping to telling to each of you these stories, this opportunity that I had as a gift in this life, I want to take just 1 second to remind and to honor each of the students from Amity Foundation who during the past 3 years had been training their mind with me, also with Michelle, who is the person who created this meditation at Amity Foundation. So Amity Foundation, it's a foundation that has been here in Los Angeles for many, many years, and they focus mainly in reinsertion, how to help people who had been incarcerated for more than 10 years to come back to society. So 3 years ago, Michel Pascal started to teach his way of meditation, meditation for daily stress, at Amity Foundation, Los Angeles. And 1 year after, when I got certified in his way of meditation, I joined the program. At the beginning, it was a little bit, we have to say, like strange, because I am a woman and I was going to be the first woman in this organization teaching to 100 men who just come out of jail, and not for a short pay, but for more than 10 or 15 years. So the first session that I had the opportunity to give, it was an amazing teaching for me, because to see the determination of each of these people to come to the session, to be sitting down in this chair and to say, I don't care about my past, because I know that today I have a new chance. Amity Foundation is giving me this chance, and meditation for daily stress is going to help my brain to learn how to deal with difficult emotions, with difficult or with challenges that I have in my life. So they come and they sit down there and they practice like little babies. They are so strong, all of them, because they love the gym. But suddenly, there is no strength in the body if the mind is weak, because both of them have to go together. We need a strong body, a healthy body, but we need also a healthy mind. So they come to these sessions to understand, to learn, and to train 2 times per week how to deal with the emotions, how to reconnect the brain with the positive sensations. Instead of following the difficulty, how can I stop for a second and remind the beauty, remind that my brain, my mind is more than that difficult emotion. So by doing this, we don't need to jump into the emotion, and we are totally changing the perception of the life. So, like a little thing before, because I know Angel wants to say something, but this weekend I was giving a retreat to one of my students in the mountain. And after I finished the retreat, I found one of the students of Amity who already finished his program in the mountain meditating with his wife. What an honor for him. When he saw me, he said, Juliana, my meditation teacher, come on, I want to introduce you to my wife. Wow, the honor was mine to see that he, after finishing his program at Amity, he kept going on.
You know, as the Mindalia TV audience is following what you're describing, and I see the picture in my mind, and I imagine these people all together, as you said, in the gym, starting to meditate. What would you say it's because they've never I guess most of them have never meditated before, right? It's the first time that they meditate when you start with them. So what would you say is the number one thing, the number one obstacle for these people to start meditating and surrendering to the meditation, Juliana?
I will say that for them is not the first time that they are connected to meditation, because while they are in jail, they have the opportunity to read many books, and many of them are interested to learn about how the brain works, about mindfulness. But what is new for them is to learn that meditation is to train the mind in the daily life rather than outside of the stress. We train the mind in the daily life. So I will say that one of the first obstacles for each of the students at Amity, even if they knew a little bit in a book or a lot or nothing, it's to abolish the cliche that meditation has to be done in a quiet room with many beautiful smells and sitting down in lotus position. Because this is not what meditation is. Meditation is to train our mind to feel better in any situation. So if we keep training our brain outside of our daily activities, any moment of the life that we are going to have a difficulty, our brain is going to think, oh, I must go to this quiet room to think about how to solve this situation. And we lose the opportunity to train the mind in that scenario. So with this way of meditation, with meditation for daily stress, created by Michel Pascal, what we do is that we train the brain many seconds of the day to be prepared for the difficult moment. So when it arises, our brain immediately gets connected to the good sensation rather than to be connected to the idea of I have to go to the quiet room.
And so, how long does this program last? Is it many years? Is it months?
We meditate at Amity Foundation twice a week, Mondays and Thursdays, at 1 p.m. actually. And we meditate for 45 minutes for 1 hour. So at the beginning, we have a little conversation. We also open the space for the students to ask any questions if they want to. And then we go directly to the practice. That today we are also going to be doing a practice, so anybody in the audience can experience as well what we do at Amity, what we do in the shelter, and what I do every single day with many women as well in individual sessions.
What would you say is the number one result that you see in the lives of those parolees after they've taken the Amity Foundation program, Juliana?
I will not say it in my words, but I will say it in the words of one of the students of Amity. And there is one beautiful story. And Amity also helps them to find jobs. So one of the students one day come to the session and he say, you know, I got a job today, but I have to tell you something very important. I got the job because I was sitting down, but like a mountain. And the person who was interviewing me said to me, you are less stressed than me, so you got the job.
Oh, that's so interesting. So, do you have? I mean, how? Let's say someone is, watching us today, and they have some acquaintance, some friend, someone that is a parolee, how can anyone contact you, access to those meditation sessions? Is there a list of requirements? Do they have to go to a specific place? How can they do it?
So I think the best way to start is through our sessions in Mindalia TV. Also, they can contact directly Amity Foundation because they are opening many more houses here in LA. They are opening another house for 58 men in Koreatown, and soon in few months they are opening a new house only for women and another house for women and children. They are also in Arizona, New Mexico, and San Diego. So it's not only in California. They have places, they have foundations, they have buildings in many other places of United States. So you can visit their website, amityfoundation.org, or you can follow also the program of mindalia.com, that we have many meditations there. And of course, if you are an NGO, if you are a foundation who work with this type of communities, you can always write to me, write to find out how can we incorporate the same program that we do at Amity in your organization. Because it's very important that we work together for the community. We cannot do it alone. This is not a program that can be done by one person.
Every session, you said there's 2 sessions a week that you do, you deliver, you give. How many hours each session?
It's 1 hour each session. Mm-hmm.
Don't you have the same students on Monday and Thursday? You have the same students?
Sometimes they move. Sometimes the group is 150, sometimes the group is 80, sometimes the group is 50, and not all the time the same students, because they stay at Amity for 3 or 6 months.
Right.
So we have changes all the time, but there are regular students as well. Up to the moment they find a job, then for them it's a little bit more difficult to follow up the same schedule. But the beauty is that they continue practicing, because sometimes they come and they say, Juliana or Michelle, because sometimes he goes, sometimes I go. Juliana, I keep meditating, but I found a job. And today I had free time, so I come to the meditation. So they keep it always in their heart. And it's so important what happened with Amity Foundation, because 80% of the people who go out of jail in California return to jail. But 80% of the people who pass through the program of Amity Foundation never go back to jail. So
like
it's so
100%?
important.
Like 100%?
80% of the people who pass through the program of Amity never return to jail. They find a job, they rebuild their families, or they make their own business. Because some of them create their own businesses. They become TV directors, they become producers for documentaries, and they employ people as well.
Wow.
So you can come to any of our sessions at any time, and anyone who is interested in coming to see, to observe, to be a student at Amity Foundation is welcome to come. Just make sure you don't just appear out of nowhere. You need to contact me, or need to contact Michelle and tell us a little bit about you and that you want to come and see the session.
How did you start doing this, Juliana? What took you from your country of origin, which is Colombia, to Los Angeles and help parolees do this amazing job that you guys are doing?
Yeah, I always say to the people, the question should be the opposite. Why did it take you so long to achieve this goal? But I will start from a little bit of the beginning, since we have a little bit more time in this program today. So as I was born in Colombia, I was born also in a difficult environment with a lot of violence. And I don't have to tell many things that the TV already told us. But growing up in this environment gave me that deep question in my heart always: how can I become alive? How can I feel better in all this chaos? Because I don't think life is this. So I was very curious since I am very young to learn how to deal with the emotions, to learn how to make a better community. So I started to read some books, and I found a book about a monk, a Buddhist monk, that said that by meditating in a cave for many, many years, he learned how the emotions work, and he learned how to help people to feel better, to put it in simple words. So I say, this is what I need to study. So I come to my mother because it was already like the end of my high school. And I say, Mother, I already know what is going to be my future. And she was so happy. She said, yeah, let's sit down and you tell me. So we sit down and I tell her, Mother, Mami, as we say in Colombia, I am going to India to study Buddhist philosophy, Tibetan medicine, and cosmology. She opened her eyes as Angel and she said, I'm so sorry, Juliana, but if you keep going on with that craziness, after you finish your real university, after you work a little bit, then you go. So now you choose another thing here in Colombia. Plop. So I was like, okay, let's find out something that helps me to open my mind and to be very creative. So I chose public relations and advertising. I studied this in the university in Colombia. I work in advertising for like 5 years in Colombia. And there was a moment that I say, but I, I already learned a lot about the world outside, about how to build campaigns for people to either buy more brands or to be connected to a brand through an emotion. But I think this is enough for me. I don't find like the real juice that I need for this life. I need more. And I think this is my time. So I go to my mother and I say, Mother, we made a deal like 11 years ago. You remember? And she say, a deal? And I say, yeah, you told me. I go to university. I study. I earn my money. I make my savings. And if I still continue with my craziness, I can go. So the news is that I still continue with my craziness. So I will go to the monastery. at that moment, I didn't have enough time to enter to a program of 8 years to university. So I decided to make a similar program, but not so long. So I went to Nepal, to the Himalayas, to live in a Buddhist monastery of nuns. And in this Buddhist monastery, I had the opportunity to learn all the Buddhist philosophy, to meditate, to visit many holy places. So I was kind of like at home when I arrived finally to the monastery. But the monastery was not going to last forever, as anything in this life lasts forever. So I had to go back to Colombia. And then what to do? Because of course I was not going back to advertising, but I was not going to start to give like Buddhist classes in Colombia as a Catholic country. So I say, what am I going to find to make like a middle way? And I discovered that I could become a life coach. And this was going to help me to help people understand how to shine, how to bloom from within. But after a couple of years, I realized that it was too much in the intellect. So again, the same situation as in advertising. And I say, okay, but now I have a huge knowledge and I need to incorporate this knowledge in my practice. So I bring Buddhism to the practice. And I started to give a program that I called Buddhist Life Coaching. And I moved to Thailand and I started to work mainly with women who were in a situation of burnout, who wanted to make a 6 months sabbatic or a sabbatic year to really go back to their self, to learn how to balance their life and their spirituality. So I worked during a couple of years with this, but still it was like separated. And I was looking for something that allowed me more to bring the monastery to the daily life, because this was always my main question after I finished the monastery. How can I bring the monastery to the daily life? And searching for this, I found meditation for daily stress. And since that moment, I learned this way of meditation. I become certified in this way of meditation. I dedicated many years to just offer my time to this program. And now I totally dedicate to, not totally because I also work with other communities, but I dedicate most of my time to work at Amity Foundation to help people who sometimes we think it must be so difficult for them to train the mind, but it's not in reality. It's easier for them. So to help these people to really find out how to be reconnected to the life. So this was like the short story in a little long version.
Would you say that you bring, this is the last question of this first part of our talk today, but would you say that you bring that, monastery from Nepal, you bring it to the Parolis in California?
Of course. And I always say to them, every single time that we meditate, we create a monastery together. Because what is the meaning of a monastery? A monastery is not in Tibetan, for example, is not a red and very colorful, beautiful building. This is not a monastery. This is the outer face of a monastery. But in reality, a monastery, it's a place where we all gather with the same intention. I want to feel better. I want to benefit myself. I want to make the people around me happier. So I train my mind for this. So every single time we gather with that intention in a specific place, we are creating a monastery. We are creating a community of practitioners who can help us to keep moving forward towards feeling better.
This is the end of the first part of our interview today, where you mentioned before how can we find you and Amity Foundation, but or better said, more the Amity Foundation than yourself. Could you remind Mindalia TV's audience where can we find you online in an easy way?
Mm-hmm. So easy way, of course, Mindalia TV. We have already a bunch of meditation in Mindalia TV. Also my YouTube channel with my name. Also my website, julianaklinkert.com. Also my Instagram, Juliana Klinkert. Also my Facebook, Juliana Klinkert. Everything goes by my name, and Angel can help us to say letter by letter.
Okay.
J.
Thank you. Thank you. Absolutely. So it will be Juliana, Juliana, and altogether Klinkert, Klinkert. This is her name. So
Exactly.
Thank you. Let's go to the questions that we have been receiving. So the first one is, how can we help someone who has had a hard life to search for help like the one you provide? How can we help someone that is looking to find, who has had a hard life and is looking for this kind of help? Juliana.
Yes. Thank you for your question. And first, as any situation, the person has to be open to go for help. If the person is not open at all to find help, try to be an example with different activities that bring light to this person. So invite the person to do exercise, to go to the ocean. And when you go with this person to do these activities, try to keep your mind very calm. Don't put like music that is very like ta 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 loud, or don't start to talk about whatever stupidity, sorry for the word, but try to go deeper into helping the person to be reconnected to the nature. And when the person finds through this journey how he or she can feel better, then probably he or she is open to say, I want more. So if the person wants more and he is specifically or she is specifically asking for help to feel better, then please go in our programs at Mindalia TV or write an email to me through my website. You can find my email, or it's very simple again, julianaklinkert@gmail.com.
Excellent. Next question. Do you also offer help for addiction recovery?
Yes. So in these groups, as we do in Amity, many of them had been having a problem or a situation with drugs, alcohol, or any other type of addictions. So yes, we work with them in groups. I only work with men at Amity Foundation. And if I am going to work in a one-to-one program, I only work with women. And this has a very deep way of answering, but to make the answer kind of fast at this moment, since we have many questions coming, I work only with women because when we meditate, we are sending a huge energy to the person to tune the person into the nature, into the clarity. And sometimes, if I work with a man, the man can feel like a little bit of other type of energies that are not going to help the recovery. So it's better if these type of situations arrive when it's a man. In the way of meditation that I work with, men should work with men, women should work with women. But if it's groups, then it's a little bit different. So every case, it's unique. And again, the person who is asking this question, you can always contact me, and you or and me, we can talk in a little bit more detail about the situation, because we can create groups, we can create more live events as well. So everything is possible. The important thing is to say, I want to feel better, because this is the 50% of all the journey that comes.
Excellent. Next question. Is meditation also good for impulse control?
Yes, of course. And there is a meditation that we do a lot and that you can find in Mindalia TV about how to learn to see our emotions from the distance. So it's like when we see a screen that shows our heart rate in the hospital, but we are going to imagine that in our brain, we see the activity of our thoughts, the activity of our brain. And we breathe in, we visualize all the activity of our brain, and we exhale, stretching all that activity. And in this way, we train many seconds of the day to teach to our brain to don't follow the activity of the brain, but to open up first to the clarity. And then we can take a decision. But again, I am telling this very fast, but when we do a meditation, remember, we are helping the person to be tuned in an energy that it's, let's put it in words of divine energy. It's a clear and a quiet energy. So the person can feel that there is a hand helping the brain to feel better. So at the beginning, it's important that we are guided by a teacher, a good teacher, not whatever teacher, because there are many people who try to do the best, but sometimes they are not very tuned. Sometimes they just took drugs or they went for a party last night. So you are receiving all that energy. So make sure, as my teachers used to say to me in the monastery, Juliana, before you choose your teacher, at least take 12 years to investigate your teacher. 12 years, not in 1 second, and not because he or she had the red robes or a special dress that I should consider this person as a teacher. Because the dress is not the name. The dress is not the experience. So please, every single person who is listening to this video, to this live event, be very curious with the person who you are going to ask for a teaching. Don't just jump blindly to the situation.
Thank you. Great bit of advice. Next question, because I know you said before that you wanted to do some meditation, so we're going to leave you like with 5 minutes at the end. So this is going to be the last question. So how can we connect between? Excuse me. How can we better connect with our emotions and not so much with our intellect?
This is the great question to open up the meditation that we are going to do. Because at the beginning, we try to meditate by thinking, and we forget about the feeling. We forget about the sensation. So what we are going to do in this little short practice is that we can close our eyes, and while we have our eyes closed, I am going to guide you through a meditation so we can feel through some images a specific sensation. Because when we try to visualize an image, the image, it's only like the key that helps us to open up to a deep sensation of well-being inside of us. So if you are not able to visualize the image that we are talking about, don't even try to take care of those things, because the sensation is the most important. But to find that sensation inside of us, we need helps. We need some tools, if we can say like that allow us to be connected to those sensations. So in this case, we use simple images of the nature that anybody knows.
Let's go for it then. Let's do this meditation, and then we can leave our audience with this amazing exercise. So please,
Exactly.
We are all yours.
So wherever you are, you can close your eyes. You can either lay down, sit, however you want to be. Choose your best posture so the body doesn't become an obstacle for the meditation. And we can take a long exhalation. And we are going to visualize that we are sitting down in front of the ocean. The water is clear. Maybe you can smell the salt of the ocean. Or maybe you can feel the breeze. Whatever, it's okay for you. But just allow yourself to travel to the ocean. And you can observe a clear wave shining, full of light in front of you. And you are going to breathe in all the clarity of this wave. Keep and feel all your body, all your mind being filled by this clarity. And exhale, liberating all the tensions away. Send them to the ocean. And remember, meditation is a sensation. So allow yourself these few seconds to release any tension away. And this tension can be transformed in the ocean. The clear ocean. Immediately transform the tensions into light, into clarity. And for the last time, observe the clear wave in front of you. And breathe in all the clarity of this wave. Keep and liberate all the tension to the ocean. Remember, we train our mind in advance. So we need to pre-visualize a situation that we know that is happening soon. Maybe tonight we have to talk to someone. Or maybe tomorrow we have a meeting. So in a few seconds, visualize this situation. Visualize yourself in this situation. And bring to that situation all the clarity of the ocean. Keep and exhale any tension that may arrive in that situation back to the ocean. So when the situation arrives, you may have a chance to bring clarity inside of you before to answer, before to find any solution. When we have a clear mind, we stretch the time and we come up with good decisions. So you can smile to the ocean. Say thank you to the ocean for this meditation. And feel how the ocean smiles back. So you can have a new friend for your life, the ocean. So at any time that you need clarity, you can call the ocean with your imagination. And we can start touching our fingers, moving our body a little bit. And when it's okay for you, you can open your eyes and rediscover the place around you.
Thank you. It was a very, very special meditation, Juliana. Thank you Thank you very much. I think it's it's a great way to end today's interview. It's been really, really special. I think that we have traveled with you to a very special place. So, Juliana, again, as we said in the beginning, it's really incredible to have your soul with us so often and to help so many people every time that we are together. So, thank you very much for being with us tonight. And we hope to have you again soon. We're going to bring some special people with you soon.
Yes.
So again, thank you very much for being with us tonight,
course.
Juliana.
My pleasure. Thank you to you, to Mirna, and to all the audience with the amazing questions, because without the audience, we cannot be having this live event. So thank you so much to each of the person who take the time, who make the effort to come, to listen this conversation, and to create all together this virtual monastery.
Excellent. So again, this is thank you very much. This is Angel Reba with Mindalia TV. We really thank you for being with us tonight. We hope that you have enjoyed this interview as much as we have. And we hope to have you again really, really soon. Have a wonderful evening, and thank you. Good night. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.